Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And it's time for our favorite video of the week, player props, looking to stay red hot after an 8-0 start to this week. Nate does have his great article up on playpicks.com as well with some best bets and player props in there. And like and subscribe to that page. You can check out those other couple game videos we have for you today. And we are going to offer you a gift card opportunity here in this one. So make sure you like and subscribe so you are eligible to win that gift card after jumping into the comments and letting us know about the player prop that we'll offer you here in just a moment. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight's play props. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the game video here. We like the Bucks to win, and we like Giannis to lead the way. His points prop is surprisingly low to me at 27.5 points, which, he's gone 30-plus in 9 of his last 11. He's averaging 31.8 points per game in 13 games since coming back from the COVID list on Christmas. So 4 points per game fewer than that, I guess, because the Cavs are such a good defensive team. Did they have any answer for Giannis on December 6th? They did not. They gave up 27 points to him in just 27 minutes. He posted a 40.7% usage rate to get those 27, and he has about a 40% usage rate his last 5 against the Cavs. For me, it is that kind of give a care factor when you talk about Giannis and the Bucks. Are they going to win because they're facing a team that they want to beat the stuffing out of, and Giannis usually will lead the way when that's the case. Lately, they've been up to second in pace in the NBA while winning 3 of their last 4. Giannis coming right along, 30 points per game in that stretch. So, aside from just the points, I do feel good about adding points and rebounds for a guy that averages nearly 11 rebounds per game during that stretch since Christmas. And I think you can look at a double-double in a win and just get that Bucks money line at plus 124. That seems like a great value bet right there. But, yeah, just love taking Giannis props along with my confidence in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I love that plus 124 double-double. I mentioned that in the Bucks video as well. I think you're getting some great juice there because, the Cavs are good. And they're only a half a game behind Milwaukee. But to your point, that give a shit factor is going to be there for Milwaukee. And if you look at the trends when they're playing teams that they know are, their foes in the East right now, they dominate. And so I expect him to be able to handle that tonight and get the victory for them in that double-double and a win. And also really love the points as well, to your point. So I'm looking at another game here that would be a lot of fun if I could really get a hold on the Pacers. They're playing Charlotte tonight, but, they don't have everybody in. Once again, no Brogdon, no Sabonis, and a few others. So Karis LeVert is where we're looking tonight. His points and rebounds are at 28.5, and his rebounds are actually at 5.5 on DK, and that's about minus 105 there on your money. So pretty good odds there. We're looking at LeVert because he's the sort of the last man standing on a team that is just decimated by injuries right now. Also, Miles Turner likely out, and so that's been the case for them for a few games. So you look at LeVert's recent history. In his last 4, he's averaging about 24 points, 7 boards, and 6 assists in those last 4. In 2 games when he doesn't play with Sabonis or Malcolm Brogdon, 21.5 points, 7 boards, 9.5 assists, as you see him with the ball in his hands a ton. All those numbers up, tremendously versus when those two play. Specifically, when Brogdon doesn't play, his usage rate jumps, unsurprisingly, from 25% to 31%. Also getting 22 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists in that time. So, look, we've been in this situation before. Just earlier this year, in December, he dropped 27-7 and 6 on Charlotte with no Brogdon, back up to that 31.5% usage rate as well. And then Charlotte, they've been better on D. We talked about it recently. Not was the case last night against Toronto where they got blown out, which might be starting that trend back up. And either way, they allow a ton of points to opposing shooting guards, 3rd most in the league. And they also just give up the 3rd most rebounds and assists when they're playing on the road. If you think they don't have defense at home this season, they definitely don't on the road as well. So I think Karis LeVert's a good bet to get those points and rebounds for sure tonight. You could throw the assists in there. They're really high at about 7 because his points, rebounds, and assists is 35.5 versus the 28.5 points and rebounds. I like him to get around 25 points tonight. So if that's the case, easily getting those rebounds and get some pretty good money back at minus 110 there.
Yeah, the Hornets are on a back-to-back, of course, as well, which is not going to help their defense. and Gordon Hayward, Jalen McDaniels, an underrated defender, are both going to be out most likely. Yep. So when everybody else is out, Pacers revert to Levert and give him the ball. I'm so sorry for that pun. Let's move on to Bam Adebayo facing the win ugly Knicks, or more recently lose ugly. They are 1-4 in their last 5, 29th in field goal shooting at 41.5% with a -4 net rating in that span. So that's why we like centers going up against them, especially centers with excellent rebounding rates. When he's played the Knicks in his last 5, Bam Bam has 19.6 points, 9.6 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Love the peripheral stats you get from a guy like Bam. And you're actually getting much better odds if you steer away from his points tonight and just take 13.5 rebounds and assists. To me, I mean, he's a 4 or 5 assists per night guy. And if he's averaging 10.8 rebounds per game at home, this seems like a really easy bet to make. In 4 games since coming off that thumb injury, he's really resumed his all-around production, 17.3 points, 8.5 rebounds, 4 assists per game. And Miami was leading the NBA in rebounding rate at home when they had Bam in the lineup, because he's posting a career-high 25% defensive rebounding rate this year. Now at home against the team that forces you to play bigs a lot and forces you to grab boards because they throw up so many bricks. I love the peripheral stats and would also just take 24.5 points and rebounds, depending the odds you can get there, because it's such an attainable number. The odds are not great at -125 or so.
Yeah, Bam is unreal right now. He's playing point guard at times. I was watching them take on the Lakers the other night. He's bringing the ball up. I mean, it's not like it's just he gets a board and go. I mean, they've on made baskets for the other team. They're taking the ball out and passing it to Bam as the point guard. It's wild right now. And I mean, he's doing just fine. And it's usually when he's got a really good matchup on the other side. And I'm not really sure who's going to stick with him tonight between Noel or Mitch Robinson. I mean, both those guys are pretty cement footed and just want to stand down low. Neither of them are going to be able to hang with his versatility. I think he'll be all over the place. Love the rebounds and assists, but any way you cut it for Bam tonight. Yeah. I mean, he's a huge reason why they've turned it around into being, back to one of the top 5 consistent teams, definitely in the East and maybe in the league right now. So love the Bam bet. I actually am going to pause for a minute because I forgot to give everybody that gift card opportunity. So I'm going to let you know it's about Giannis. Unsurprisingly, really want to watch him tonight and see his points, rebounds, and assists. So that is the gift card total there. And the prop we want to know from you is, what is Giannis's points, rebounds, and assists? So make sure you like and subscribe to the page and then drop that in the comments. However many people get that correct is the amount of gift cards we'll give out. So just jump in there and don't worry about anybody else. I'm taking a lot of points and rebounds and assists for Giannis tonight, just as a score. 45
at FanDuel for Giannis. Yeah, as they're starting.
45 is the number they're setting. I feel pretty good about the over on that one, as we mentioned earlier. So, but I will take us to our last one. And unsurprisingly, we're going back to the well with Cam instead of Bam Bam this time. Cam Johnson, great game the other night against the Jazz, which is the team he's playing again tonight. We loved him in the last game against the Jazz, partly because of how bad they've been against the 3-point shot lately, allowing 37.5% from deep, which is good for 4th worst in the NBA. And we started with loving Cam Johnson because the Jazz, as I mentioned, have been sputtering on defense. There was no Jay Crowder in that game as well, or DeAndre Ayton, which we both loved. And then now you add the fact that JaVale McGee's not playing, which is definitely their second or third center, depending on where you put Cam Johnson in there. Cam played a ton of minutes the other night. I believe he had the most minutes of any Sun in that Jazz game, where he had 20 points and 6 boards on 5 for 8 from 3. He loves playing Utah. His 6 career games versus them, 14 for 26 from 3-point land, good for 54% from deep there. We're looking at his over similar props the other night, 15.5 points or 20.5 boards. You could take either. You can get the same sort of juice on him to hit 3, 4, or 5 3-pointers in a win. I took 3 and 4 the other night for him. Sprinkled a little bit on the 4 in a win, and then also grabbed that 3 3-pointers made in a win. Still same numbers as they were the other night. Obviously, we're playing in a slightly different venue this time, but I still feel really good about Cam Johnson and want to continue to ride him in the exact same situation he was, but only better, as there's one less big man for the Suns tonight.
Yeah, and Rudy Gobert is out for the Jazz, with both Gobert and Donovan Mitchell ruled out. I don't really understand why the Suns are only 2-point favorites in this spot. You can get some really good value there in terms of the player performance doubles for Johnson. 12 plus points, 3 plus threes, 15 plus points is plus 220 in a win for the Suns. So a lot of ways to juice that because he's become a really integral part of what they do. And with no JaVale McGee or DeAndre Ayton tonight, they could just go small and play Hassan Whiteside right off the floor with Cam Johnson. So I think he'll get a ton of minutes tonight, and I think he'll be a key factor in why the Suns are able to outmaneuver this shorthanded Jazz team. So I would go ahead and bet that for sure.
Absolutely. It's a great point. Hassan Whiteside, flat-footed, not going to be able to touch Cam Johnson near the top of the arc or on the wing where he's at. All 5 of his threes were assisted because he's the result of that great ball movement. Love the money line parlays in terms of the player performance doubles as well, because as we talked about in the last time we spoke about the Jazz and Suns, the Suns have Chris Paul, point guard. Nobody else does. And so as a result, you feel really good about them winning the fourth quarters and pulling out those W's like they did the other night. So a ton to feel good about as we roll along on these player props, trying to stay hot. Maybe we'll go 12-0 on the week. Who knows? Either way, feeling really good about the amount of units that we are winning. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. You can jump in the comments. Let us know Giannis's points, rebounds, and assists combined to be able to win that gift card. And until we see you next, happy betting.